Hello, hello. Hi, Matea. Am I saying it right? How are you today? Yes, perfect. How are you? Hi, Amy. How are you? Wait till we got quite more amount of people on here. How's your guys' day going? I'm good, not too bad. Sort of an uneventful kind of day, which is always a good thing, right? Could be worse. Hi, everyone else slowly coming in. Gotta fix this camera. It's never usually this high up. Are these spirit? I think you meant spirit-led. I kind of do things a little differently. I feel as though spirit-led kind of takes too long. And I'm a full-time working mom with a toddler who is about to turn 2. So my time is of the essence. So I mostly do spirit. How about I wish I could have like a word for it. More so kind of like who I'm drawn to. So from the get-go, you know exactly who it's for. Spirit-led just takes most of the time, takes up finding out who the spirit's for. Maybe one day I'll try it when I have a little more time on my hands. Of course. I like using the amount of time that I have to give you guys full like readings, so that you guys can connect with your loved ones. I feel as though when it's like super quick and to the point, it kind of loses its personal touch to it. Kind of loses a little bit of comfort there. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Yeah. So anything that I can do to actually give you guys the best reading outcome as I can is kind of the goal here. And I feel as though spirit-led kind of takes away from that. It takes away like the intimacy of a reading. If I don't do that for, you know, my private readers, why would I do that for you guys? Not to, you know, put down any medium who does this on here. They just have a lot more time to get on live and they get to spend more time on live. I don't have that luxury with my toddler. So, no, it's a great question, and I love that you asked it in the beginning because I get it all the time. So we have about like 12 people on here. I'm gonna wait for a little bit. I'm kind of a little early. I kind of told people I was gonna be on for in an hour, and it's like 10 minutes from now. Yeah, I feel that way too, but it's because of how long it can take to get to figure out exactly who it is. And by the time that happens, it's like you kind of have to move on because it took so long to realize who it was for. And then there's people that think it was from them, and it's usually postcards, and it's just, I feel as though it just gets right to the point. That's also why I ask everyone to kind of give me a relationship of a person that they want to speak to, because when someone says to me, oh, anybody that comes through, well, anybody that comes through can take a while. Either multiple spirits will come forward, or we're sitting there trying to put the puzzle pieces together to see who it's for. I feel as though when I'm more direct with spirit guides and that, you know, on the other side with who I want you to set my intentions for who's coming forward, it kind of speeds the process up a little bit. That's just me. Thank you. Yeah, and again, I've done spirit-led in the past, very early on in my mediumship journey, and it's nice. It takes a while to, you know, put the pieces together. Hi, Amy. Thank you for joining. Absolutely. Anybody who wants to come hang out can hang out. I get on as much as I can. Again, guys, remember this year I'm trying to get on a lot more frequently, but I don't always have the time to do so, nor do I have a lot of time all my lives to read. You know, I wish I could read for everyone. Feel free to always send me a message if you would like a private reading. I had quite a few private readings this past weekend. Luckily, I didn't have a lot of personal things going on, so I was able to squeeze a good amount of people in. So that's always an option too. You can always message me on here or send me an email. My email is also in my bio. And all my videos for my lives are uploaded on my YT page. And is it for your grandma? No, actually, my husband got this for me for Christmas. It's me and my son, and it's my son's birthstone because he's born in April, so he's got the fancy little diamond birthstone. I did have a crystal. I usually wear a crystal, but my crystal's actually in my drawer, because obviously I had to put this on. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, from the FYP page? Okay. Again, I'm pretty new to the whole TikTok thing, so the more we can spread, the more the better. Alright guys, so we have quite a few people in here, so I feel as though it's about time, you know, we could probably get right to it. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Sky. I am a medium here in Pennsylvania. I just recently started doing mediumship through TikTok Live because I realized that it was the quicker way to be able to reach out to people and kind of practice my abilities, and it was a really good outlet for me to have as many sitters as possible. I am a full-time working mom to a little toddler. He's the love of my life, but he is crazy and he's going on 2. So my time is not my time. So it was easier for me to use TikTok that I can just hop right on when I have the time rather than trying to schedule, you know, practice reads with other mediums. Just by the time I finally got someone who was ready, I would have to go. So it was, you know, a little rough. Hi, Amen. Hello, hello. I wish I could reply to everyone's comments as well, guys. I see them when I see them. I talk a lot. So in a few moments, I'm going to ask you guys to kind of send a comment on a relationship of a person that you want to talk to. But I have a few things, you know, a little bit of a spiel before we begin for those who are new here. So I am a psychic medium. I ask that you guys are open to anything that can come through from spirit. This can mean, you know, I get things because of the psychic side. I do pick up things on the end of my sitter as well. So, you know, talking about your job, how your feelings, things that you're going through personally. Multiple spirits can come through. Sometimes other spirits that you know, we weren't intentionally reading will come through as well. It's kind of like a big group gathering, and they're kind of all trying to fight tooth and nail to try and, you know, have a message for you in a sense. Which is why I ask if everyone could, in the comments, just, you know, when I'm ready, the relationship of the person that you want to speak to. Don't give me any other details. If you're more comfortable with typing, that's fine. If you want to come in the little box that people just showed me last week, that's fine too. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But I do want to reiterate that all of my readings do get uploaded to YT page. I can't say it without getting banned. It's the same handle as my TikTok name. It's also in my bio. So just remember that, just in case, you know, with your name and, you know, your face, your voice, or however, if you're comfortable with that, then that's fine. If you want more of a private setting, you would just have to message me or send me an email, which is also in my bio. And then we could schedule like a private reading if you know, a little more modesty and, you know, you don't want the public to kind of be a part of your reading. That's fine too. We all have our boundaries. I love boundaries. Let's stick to those. So I think, oh, thank you, Lex. That's so nice. Don't make me blush on here. All right, guys. So, go ahead and send the relationship of the person you want to connect with. Again, try not to do details. Not only do I not want any details because it kind of takes away from the validation with loved ones that they'll give me the details, but also people talk about how some people are scamming others when they can read your comments and see the details and then try to message you acting like me or just themselves and say, oh, I have a feeling your ex-father named Dan is, you know, here, and, you know, then it entices you to message them back, be like, oh, how did you know that? Well, it's because they see your comments and they see all the details that you guys are putting in here. So let's try and keep it a little vague. You can say yes and no and that kind of a thing, especially if you're texting with like the, you know, the reading, but try to keep details at a minimum. Allow me to kind of say the details for you. Okay, and Spirit kind of will just draw me to who kind of needs the readings. So I'm just going to take a couple seconds here and see who I get drawn to. Hey, Soph, are you still here, hun? All right. Is it easier for you to type in the chat, or did you need to talk in the little box that pops up? I don't know if there's a name for it. Completely up to you. And then I'll kind of give you a spiel of how we're going to get started. Stay in chat. Absolutely, that's totally fine. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to be silent here a little bit. So when I do these readings, I kind of do a little bit of a doodling, and I also kind of write down things that I see. I'm going to get as much evidence as I can. So I'm going to be silent for a bit, but when I come back, I'm going to spit these things at you, and then we'll see if we connected with, I believe you said it was mom, correct? That's what I'm sitting here trying to do. I think you said mom. Mom, okay. All right, so I'm going to see what I can get, and I will come right back. I'm just going to be silent for a little bit, guys, okay? Okay, I have a few things coming through. I do have a female here. She definitely feels as though kind of a free spirit. When I say that, it's kind of like a light, flowy kind of vibe. And you don't always get many of those, especially unfortunately for like moms. But I do feel as though it's kind of like a common person. Is any of this making sense so far? I also feel as though she passed before her time. This means that she wasn't necessarily like young, obviously, because she's a mom. But I feel as though she definitely wasn't older in a sense to where she would have passed from old age. I feel as though her passing is also still a shock in a sense. It's kind of like you're kind of stuck in it like a dream, like it didn't actually really happen, and it's kind of like you kind of keep going over it and over and over it in your mind. I feel as though she's kind of drawn me towards her wrist and hands as well. So I don't know if she had problems with her hands or wrist or like arthritis of some sort. It doesn't really feel like arthritis, but it does feel as though maybe she did a lot with her hands. I do feel a sense of like daintiness. Almost kind of like I even got like a weak like nausea kind of feeling, like weakness. But I did feel as though she was like an absolute sweetheart. Absolute sweetheart. I'm being drawn towards kind of like a carefree kind of spirit. Is this making sense so far, Sophie? I don't even, is it just Soph? Before I keep going. I hope you're still with me, honey. I hope my comments didn't freeze. Soph, are you still here? She was very kind-hearted. Okay. I also don't know if this is her or someone around her, but I kind of get the feeling someone who's drawn more towards like peacefulness of like maybe even I kind of got like, I don't know if it's symbolicism for like waves and ocean feel and like kind of like the ocean life, like boats or anything like that. I don't know if like that's someone's drawn to, or if that's just their like her nature, like kind of like symbolism for like a common nature for her. I feel as though she is very tender-hearted. I feel as though she was very caring. She's definitely not a Karen, caring on the boat in the water. Okay. So I feel as though she's also the type of person that like people are drawn to kind of come to them with her problems, and her issues started in her hands. Okay, yeah. I do feel as though there was like a weakness as well. I feel as though there was some type of diagnosis with this as well. And I feel as though it was kind of, she's kind of giving me the words like hard to watch. And I feel as though it was really tough to kind of go through with it. Like it's kind of like, just like a decline. And I feel as though it was really rough to kind of go with it. But I feel as though, although there was like very emotional kind of feelings around this, I think she like kind of remained a little more positive than like people may think that they would be, kind of, if it makes sense. I feel as though she especially towards the end, I think she felt very comfort with family. And I feel as though she also didn't like to talk about certain things as well, like negative things. I feel as though she kind of I think the free spirit in her just kind of wanted to look at the positives in life. She kind of just didn't drown in like the sorrows. And I feel as though that was also a coping mechanism for her, because I feel as though she didn't like bringing people around her down, but I feel as though she really struggled mentally with it. She's kind of shown me that like she kind of struggled on the inside into those who were closest to her, but on the outside she tried to remain as strong as she could. I also get like an amount of pressure in my body, more towards directed with like my neck and possibly even head. So I don't know if there was some type of like headache around this as well, or if she just kind of got headaches in general. It doesn't seem like a headache would be some completely part of like her, you know, the reasons why she passed. But I do feel as though she is showing me some type of pressure with head. She wanted to bring up dresses. So I don't know if she wears dresses often, or if she just liked dresses. You wear something about dresses that was in the very beginning, but it was also kind of like dancing in a way, like a movement kind of dress. So it's kind of like the flowy sense of something to her, and that's why, you know, I directed it more towards like free spirit. She also showed me hearts. So but the hearts that she showed me kind of look like drawn or like painted or of some sort. But they're like simple hearts, like your basic simple heart. She was also showing me that as well. I know I'm giving you a lot of information and I'm trying to go back to like your comments and stuff, but it feels as though she, usually when I do have a spirit like this, like I feel like someone who's super high on life, it tends to be easier to get a lot of information. So I'm like trying to spit this info as I go. And I'm trying not to miss anything. So let me know if this is making sense here, Soph, okay? Do we need to go? I know, but like I said so many things and I don't know if it like completely resonates. But does it seem like we're with mom here? Hi guys, I'm reading for Soph right now. Okay. All right, let's see what else she has to say then. Okay, she's kind of talking about time, but it feels as though she's referencing time because as she's kind of explaining it is as if it's kind of like, even if you looked at, you know, from diagnosis to passing, or just, you know, the end in general, it may have been a periodic of time, but like it seems like it happened so fast but so slow at the same time. So she's really referencing time, and I don't know if this was just, and I think a lot of it has to do with just like your mentality towards it. And I feel as though there was a lot of questions about how to like handle things in a sense of like she kind of makes it feel like in the medical world, like interventions. You know, how far do we want to go with this? Would that make sense as well? Because she gives me the word interventions. Kind of just like, do we want to do this? Do we want to do that? Like there was a lot of question about exactly how to go about it, but then it was just like, there was just the inevitable. 100%, okay. Totally doesn't even look like that, and I have to send that to you, so let me fix that. Inevitable. I feel as though she was very likable. I feel as though she's kind of showing how like, I don't know if there's like funniness about her, but it's as if like she's like one of those moms that like even like your friends would even gravitate towards, like is like the, you know, the nice like kind-hearted mom. I feel as though she dedicated her whole life kind of being a mom. I feel as though she was definitely one who would like show up to everything, kind of be there no matter what. I feel as though she was constantly like your number one cheerleader. But I feel as though she wasn't like like you just kind of got along with her because of how good she was, but she was still like a structure mom. Like she wasn't like this mom that's like carefree and it's like, oh, we're like best friends, so like you can do whatever you want, and like that kind of relationship. It's like she did have structure with you, she did have expectations, she had rules, she had all of the things, but she was so involved in your life. She was definitely like a best friend to you, but she still had like, she still was a mom. So like she still had structure, like rules and stuff like that, but she did it in a respectful way to where it didn't like turn into like the too strict of a mom. She was just kind of well-rounded in that. She had her understandings, and I feel as though, you know, she was kind of in the sense to where like you're gonna make mistakes, but like let's fix it kind of a thing. Hi Abby, I'm reading for Soph right now. It's kind of just who I'm drawn to. I'm gonna do another read after this, and then I can teach you all that process. She's also bringing up a tree. So I don't know if that's a specific significance for you. However, when spirits give me a tree, it means that someone has been looking into like their family tree, into like their ancestry or something along those lines. Unless a tree is more specific to you, but she's showing me a pretty big tree here. And I do think it has a sense of family to this as well. That's kind of the sense around this tree. Okay. Also on top. Okay, so it works for both ways. Okay, so tree is definitely significant. And you said you were looking into it a couple months ago. Okay. Ooh, your mom is good at this. She's straight to the point, and I feel like that was also her personality, to where she was very straight to the point. Let's get it done, let's get it out of the way. I feel like she was like a really, like she was meant to be a mom. Straight to the point always was. Yeah, and they show their personality through these readings, and I love that. I love when people tell me like, you know, you were sounding like my loved one, and I'm like, oh, didn't know. Also earlier, again, I don't like to mention letters and numbers. It feels like the more I've been doing this, again, there's just some people that they just do it and it just happens, and they were just kind of built to do it. You have to think biologically, we are all built. Let me take it back a couple notches. We're supposed to be built to be parents. Some people take advantage of that, and some people should never be parents. But she definitely was one who was an absolutely amazing mom, and I have known her for all of like what, 10 minutes and I already know that. But anyway, the letters, I don't like to really say them, but this has come up a couple of times. It's the letter T. A lot of people might not know exactly what the letters are meant for. I always circle them on the pages. You might think of it later on, but it did pop up a couple of times, so I will write it down for you. Also, and it's kind of not really being paired, but following after is the number 2. This could be an age. This could be, sometimes it's amount of kids, but it's usually an actual date, the month of February, along those lines. So I will write that down for you as well, because I will be sending this to you through email or direct message. But she seems like, she also seems like a really, like a mama bear too. I feel as though she wasn't one for conflict, especially like in a public setting, but I feel as though like she had that mama bear instinct to where if it had to do with her kids, she would like full on attack, like throw it all out. And February is her birthday, and I'm pregnant with her 2nd child. Oh, okay. Yeah, so 2 is definitely significant for you. And her birthday's coming up. It's almost February, so she definitely wanted you to come across my live. That's so sweet. Oh, don't you just love when things like that happen? It's just like things are meant to be. And T is your aunt's name. Okay. Let me see if she wants to say anything to your aunt. If you hear my son in the background, I swear my husband's with him. He's not by himself. Um, I kind of am getting this feeling with Aunt that, yes, Friday's her birthday. So this literally is amazing that you're getting to hear from her today. Wow. See, this is why I say when I do spirit direct, like it just, they literally draw me to who needs to hear it. When it comes to Aunt, I feel as though it's kind of like a yin and yang situation. I feel as though kind of like two different people. Have you been having yeah, she was so close to sister-in-law, but they were pretty different but similar. Yeah, it was kind of like opposites attract. But yeah, she was so close to sister-in-law, but they were pretty different but similar. Yeah, it was kind of like opposites attract. But she's also kind of so I keep getting this nausea feeling. And I know you said you mentioned you're pregnant, and I wrote down nausea in the beginning thinking it may have had to do with her, which it still could. But did you happen, just for curiosity, have you happened to like had nausea or sickness with your pregnancy? Because I keep getting waves and I know I'm not pregnant. Okay, because oh my god, thank god. I'm like, I hope I'm not getting the stomach bug right now, because I am getting waves and it's like pregnancy wave nausea, but I am so not pregnant. Definitely not. So that's okay. Well, that would make sense. Oh my Jesus. Okay, well, let me circle the nausea on the front, because that is you. And I put a question mark next to it too. It's so random. Oh, that was how it was with my son. But I put a question mark because I was like, I don't think it's her, but I keep feeling this nausea. I'm like praying like the kids at work didn't get me sick, but perfect. And you were laughing up. Well, thanks for telling me, because I've been like battling in my own head right now if I'm sick or not. I'm about to start feeling my pulse. But oh my god, she's so funny. I feel as though she was also the type of person, like when she walked in the room, it's like instant like ease. But I think it's also funny because I feel like when everyone else is having chaos or something is going on, she instantly can calm them, right? But I feel as though it's kind of funny when she's having chaos and something's going on with her, she's like, it's laughable. It's like when she's got like a personal problem to where it's chaos, she's like flailing around like, you know, the sky's falling. But if someone else was in crisis, she's like, yeah, we can do it. We'll be fine. You're gonna be fine. Or, you know, let's do this. Let's make a plan. We got this. Like, she was very detail oriented when it came to other people's crisis, but she couldn't handle her own. And it's like, well, you get it from your mama. Because, wow, she's really funny in that sense. She's, oh my gosh. And I feel as though she attracted so many people around her. Like, she was so likable, so lovable. I feel as though, like, wow, she's so like, and it's crazy because I've had such dark readings lately. I've just had a lot of souls that just weren't the nicest here, so this is like a breath of fresh air right now. And I'm absolutely loving this because I can take positives all day long. Do you I also feel as though, so she's like, all right, enough with the, she definitely wants to say something. I feel as though you're still having a rough time with her passing. And I feel as though she's kind of showing me kind of like high emotions, especially when it comes to like you and your kids. I feel as though like it's kind of like things came rushing back with your kids, and like, you know, you're pregnant, so I feel like things keep rushing back because it's like all the like what ifs kind of a thing, and it's kind of as if like, you know, kind of wishing she was here, which is very vague because, you know, everyone feels that way when it comes to their mom, especially if they lost their mom at such a young age. But I feel as though like it's like every time you think you're starting to like not grieve it, but like you're starting to like accept it, it just like hits you like a ton of bricks again. And I feel as though all right, let me write that down before I forget. But it feels as though like, oh, that's a horrible drawing. It's like it's kind of like you get emotional when it's around your kids, and it's like, just, you know, not only she's not there, but it's more so like, you know, your own battle is within your head when it comes to like being like her, being a mom and all that. Show me very clear what this baby is going to be. Does she tell you? Oh, I've never done it before. Yes, I do. My son knows. She's alright. Okay. Awesome. Oh. So you're like early. So do you know, before I say anything, do you know the answer? Like, do you, like, medically, did a doctor tell you? And she was right. Okay, so let's see. So before I figure this out, before I even come up with one, I wrote down a flower. So whether that flower resonates with you because it's a flower that we'll touch on next before you asked me this question, or the flower is directed as a girl, but let me see what she answers me about the gender, besides the flower I already drew before you asked me that question. I've never done this before. This is exciting. Okay. I feel as though your pregnancy was definitely different from your first pregnancy. Is it a girl? Is it a girl? Because she keeps showing me the flower, so I don't know if that's why she showed me the flower. I'm like asking her for like colors. I'm like, is it a blue or boy? That's truly amazing. That literally the last thing I drew before you even asked me was a flower, and she's just popping up, and I'm like, girl, like, because I don't know. I'm like, I've never done a gender, so I'm like, okay, tell me if it's pink or blue, and like all I see is red, but just like a flower popping up. But oh, congratulations, that's awesome. You get the best of both, like the boy and the girl. That's awesome. Well, she definitely sent your way. She's, you know, supporting you 100%. So is there a thing, okay, so this is gonna be really random. I actually never had this come up before. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm going to put it out there because usually the most outlandish things are usually very cool. Is there some significance with a turtle? I don't know if it's because I still have the beach stuck in my head from like the beachy vibes for her, but I also keep seeing a turtle. And I've never really seen a turtle. Okay, I'm going to circle that. I've never seen a turtle in any of my readings before, so I'm going to circle that, and maybe you'll stumble upon it later on, or I still have the beach in my head from the beginning and her beach vibes. So, enjoy my picture of a turtle on the paper. I do feel as though she is starting to kind of depart, so I feel as though she said a lot that she needed to with like her evidence base, but I feel as though she kind of wants to I think she wants you to have more confidence in yourself. She's talking about confidence as a mom, confidence as just a person in general. I feel as though you were such a strong person, but I feel like you kind of, you're constantly doubting yourself. I feel as though, in the process of that now, yeah. I think you need to learn a lot more of like kind of self-worth and like you're in yourself. Like I feel as though you need a lot more. Like, I feel like she's talking about, like, it's like as if she was here, she would be a mom telling you, like, motherhood is not going to consume you. You are more than just a mother. You are a person first and foremost. and being a mother is an amazing addition to you, but you still have to remember that you are still a person who has your own needs. You know, you need to have your own self-care. You need to stop doubting yourself so much. And she also wants to say, I don't know if she said this to you before, because it's very like full sentence. If you're doubting yourself in the first place, then you're already doing a good job. Because people who are horrible people, horrible parents, horrible however, they don't even care. They don't even care to think about how they're doing. And if you're already questioning yourself or like wondering on the daily, like, am I doing this right? Am I doing enough? Blah, blah, blah. That in itself gives you the answer that you're doing absolutely wonderful, because you care. And if you care, that's all we can do at the end of the day. We can care. You know, someone can give us 500 books on how to be the perfect parent. It ain't going to do nothing. No one's going to be a perfect parent. You're not, you know, they're not going to have a book about your child jumping backwards off the couch, doing a flip and landing on their head. They're not going to do that. What you can do as a good parent is be there for them, comfort them, take them to the doctor if they need to go to the doctor, you know, kiss their boo-boo. You can do what you can, but you can't predict and you can't put them in a bubble. You can't do those kind of things. And all we can do is the best that we can. And just because you're questioning yourself on if you are, and you're always striving to be better than you were yesterday, that automatically makes you an amazing parent. So definitely do not, you know, question yourself one bit. And even as a person, like, even if your life hasn't planned out the way that you immediately wanted to, like, I know a lot of your plans, it seems as though she's talking about how your plans aren't the way you thought things were gonna go, or it's just like, you know, things don't happen the way that you want them to, or, you know, it's just kind of seems like things are out of your control. It's okay. It's completely okay, because at the end of the day, it's just that. It's just a plan, okay? Plans are just plans. There's nothing you can do about it. You can strive to keep along on that plan, but I'm telling you, life has a funny way of just wishing you the other way. You think you're going down the left side of the path, boom, life is going to blow a big wind and put you on the right side of the path, whether you wanted to or not. And what you do with it is what matters. Whether you keep going and keep striving past it, or you decide to give up. And as long as you don't give up, you're going to be okay. Because we all end up in the same place together all one day. And again, how you get there is the fun. So enjoy it while you can. You know, take the losses, take the wins, do what you can. And that's exactly what you need to do. And I feel as though you tell yourself that, but you need mom to tell you. So I hope that that resonated with you. But I am going to leave her love and light with you. She was absolutely beautiful spirit. If you have any questions, I know, but she is there. She's just on the other side, and I feel as though she has better seats. It's like if she was here in person, she wouldn't get to see all that she sees on the other side, you know? She is you and your children's angel, and she gets to see everything. She's got front row seats, you know what I mean? Absolutely. And again, she knew that you needed her. You know, her birthday is literally on Friday. Like, what are the odds? You know what I mean? And it's just, that's what spirits do on the other side. You know, they kind of orchestrate all of these things. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Maybe we can have a swap one time. I always love to swap with other mediums. Absolutely love it. Oh, yeah. And I've never actually really tried to connect with my own loved ones. I only one time, but it was a loved one who had passed at that moment, like recently. You know, I kind of had a couple of things for about a week or so, and then it kind of went away. So I always love swaps for that reason. So message me if you ever want to swap. I'm totally down. But thank you everyone else for standing by. That was such a beautiful reading. She was such a beautiful soul. Oh my gosh, I wish I was her friend, to be honest. We all need a little bit of Soph's mom, guys. And Soph, if you're still here, if I don't remember, because again, having a child literally turned my brain into mashed potatoes, I do have this to send to you. It's just, you know, the notes from the reading. And also you can always look up the video on my YT page. Can't say the full thing here or I'll get banned, guys. But remind me and I will send this to you, okay? Perfect, absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much, okay? Thank you so much. I always appreciate when you guys are on here. It's pretty vulnerable to not only get a reading from your loved ones, but to also have other people watching. It's very vulnerable, and I'm so grateful that you guys allow me to do it. I really am. And for the people that are kind of just watching and, you know, you're not up to that, message me, send me an email, whatever it is. Your comfort is what I strive for. So whatever makes you more comfortable, I'm all ears, okay? So never feel fear to message me or talk to me in any way, okay? All right, I'm gonna just take a couple of minutes, guys, to answer some questions, kind of decompress before we go into another reading. Oh, Sophia. What's happening here? We just finished a reading for Soph, and we're just decompressing. I'm answering some questions, kind of chilling before I get ready to do another mediumship reading for somebody else. But I don't like jumping back to back. I like to, it takes a moment for me to disconnect from a loved one. So I'm slowly disconnecting from Soph's mom right now. Oh, and guys, if something resonates with you, I'm hearing that it's called a postcard. And if something that I say feels like it could also be for you, but I'm not directly reading for you, it's a postcard, which means that your loved one would be giving you a message through someone else. I've just heard about that. Perfect, Soph. And then once I get off, it'll remind me to send you that picture too. You'll love my doodles, I swear, guys. Thank you, Sherry. Absolutely love it. So my readings, guys. Anyone who's had a reading knows that they are not timed at all. I talk way too much, clearly. I've always talked a lot. I hope he can't hear me. Oopsies. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second, I'm so sorry. Poor guy. I have no timing on I hope you guys heard that. I'm gonna play it back because that's hilarious. I saw his little fingers going under the door. Moms never have time to themselves, I swear. But my husband does the best he can, okay? So I talk a lot. I also feel as though I can't cut spirit off, okay? So I don't put a timer and say, hey, it's been an hour. Your loved one's still talking, but you'll have to book me again because I'm done. Like, I don't do that. Most of my readings, I think my reading that I had yesterday, I had a private reading yesterday. Started it around 3, and I don't think I even got off until like 4:30. Just because it had a lot going on. I'm also not quick with them. You'll get them. Girl, bless you for 5. I only have 1 and I'm going nuts. So there's no time limit with my readings. Oh, Lori, yes, and she's here, guys. I did do a private reading. Yeah, we were talking until like 4:30, guys. So it's kind of just it's however spirit goes. And then once I can feel when spirit is starting to pull away, and it's just like I'm getting less and less information, and it's draining, and it's like their energy's going down, my energy's going down. That's when it ends. Same thing here too. That's why, you know, even my readings here are crazy. If you want to book a reading, you guys can send me a message here, or you guys can send me an email. The link is in my bio. And we'll just schedule something based off of our schedules. I typically do it on the weekends because I have more time, because again, I do work all week. I'm a full-time working mom. On here are always free. Everything that is here is always free. I personally have been told not to say how much my readings are on here, just because then scammers can start saying things to people with that price. However, send me a message and immediately I will give it to you. It is very low. I'm not at the point to where, like, I just started kind of charging, and it's only because of, you know, how much people have been asking for private readings. So it does now take a lot of time since I'm getting more bookings in. It's reasonable. So just send me a message. Don't be afraid, I won't bite, I swear. Or again, if you don't want to do a message on here, then you can always send an email. Again, it's the same as my TikTok handle. It's also in my bio. Absolutely send me a message. Again, because I know some people like more of a private, intimate kind of setting for a reading. And again, I just love what I'm doing. Again, I fought doing this for a long time because I had a lot of fear for this. I'm also this week gonna try. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I keep saying I'm gonna try and make a video about how I kind of got into this journey. It's definitely something that I didn't see coming. And it's also something that I feared and tried to push away, and pushing it away made it 10 times worse, especially after my son was born. So don't be nervous. Even if you just want to have a conversation about how it works and stuff, don't worry about it. Message me with any questions. You don't have to just message me to book. All right, I'm always here. I've had readings to where pets have came through, but I haven't done readings solely based off of pets. But again, I'm open to anything. A girl Soph today just asked me the gender of her baby, and I got a flower, so I said girl, and she said it was a girl. Never done that before. You know what I mean? So we can always see. But I also say, like, when I say we'll see, don't hold it against me. So don't come after me if it doesn't work, but I'm cool to try anything, to be honest. I'm learning as we go on. I feel like we're always learning. Now, if you ask me something weird, I might say no, but all right, guys. So without wasting too much more time, I think we could do another reading for somebody here. Thank you, Abby. Thanks so much. You guys have a lot of comments for me today. So if you guys want a reading, again, I have to put this out there. Whoever's on my reading, I do upload all of my videos to my YT page. It's the same as my TikTok handle. It's in my bio. I can't say the actual platform because that can get banned. However, all of them get uploaded there. So you have to be comfortable enough for your name, like your TikTok handle. I don't know if my videos don't show that, but they show it if you come up in the box. If you're, if you prefer to come up in the box versus the comments. The comments I don't think pop up at all. Just like how your name that I call you on there. But go ahead, guys. Make sure that you're just put in a relationship with a person. Comment as many times as TikTok allows you to. Just a relationship. Don't put any details for your safety and for, out of respect for you. So then, the stuff that, the details you want me to come up with, you know what I mean? For validation from your loved one. But also, you don't want scammers in your inbox. They're very annoying. All right, and whoever I am drawn to is who Spirit feels needs the reading. So go ahead. And then I gotta drag a puzzle piece or the live will end. Oh no. How? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. TikTok's so weird. Okay. Guys, this one's a rough one. I have not been drawn yet. Okay, I don't know if it's just because I'm hungry, but I am being drawn towards bacon and pancakes. Please tell me a name that I can call you other than bacon. Please give me a name because I don't want to keep going. Kaya. Hi, Kaya. You said you wanted to talk to, I think it was Dad? Was it Dad? Correct me if I'm wrong. Kaya, beautiful name. I love that name. And you spell it so nice. Dad, okay, perfect. Did you want to do chat or did you need me to bring you up to the little box? Up to you, whatever's easiest for you. I just started doing the box last week. Actually, it was pretty convenient last week. You do the box? Okay, cool. Let's see if I remember how to do this, people. Never did it before. Apparently you will just come up in a little box and it won't be a video of you unless you choose to. Guys, how do I do this? Oops, hold on. I think I sent an invite to come on. Did I do it? Oh my god, I did it.
Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Let me turn you up. I guess I had my phone on low. I am good.
Oh my god. I'm glad to talk to you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm glad to talk to you.
Oh, good. Absolutely. And I was like, I don't know if I'm hungry or if I'm just drawn to your name. But let's see if we can talk to Dad, okay? Have you ever gotten a reading before?
Only like once or twice.
Okay. Have you watched my live before and know how it works, or you need like a little bit of a spiel?
I seen like mediumship before, so
Perfect. All right, that's fine. So I'm just gonna get a bunch of evidence as much as I can here. So I'm gonna be silent for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to spit it all out at you, and you tell me if it resonates with Dad or not. A few things can happen here. Either it could be another spirit, another loved one that's coming through. Let me know if it's that. If it does not resonate at all, it could just be for someone else in the comments, and we'll just try to redirect back to Dad. Okay. Keep in mind that I really suggest you guys to be very open-minded. Whatever I may say may not direct towards Dad. It could be directed towards your neighbor. It could be directed to anything else going on in your life. And it's because, your loved one's trying to like show you like, I'm around. I know what you got going on. I know you got a broken door you don't fix, like things like that. So just be open-minded about the information that comes through. I will write it all down and send you a picture of all of the notes that I've taken. Again, I also have the YT page that you can always go back and kind of just go through and see what I may have missed or what you didn't resonate with then. Maybe 5 days from now, you'll be like, oh, that's what that was. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Thank you.
I will go and do that right now and I will come right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I do have a few things, but before I get any more information, I'm gonna lay it out to you just to make sure that we're connected with Dad here, okay?
Okay.
So first and foremost, I'm gonna bring this up so that it stops. So I feel things that they may make me feel. It may pertain to their passing. It might just be anything that happened or medical condition. It could be them. It could be you. I have a very sharp pain in my back.
Yeah.
Very sharp pain. It seems to me, I don't know if it's relevant, but it's like the upper right part of my back, like a shooting, like really sharp pain.
Yeah, he had back problems.
Okay.
So you're not wrong.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so once now that I said that, I could tell him to stop because it hurts. Um, I feel as though Dad would seem like a very humorous person. I feel as though he had a big laugh to him, but I felt like he can also be some serious as well.
Yeah.
But I feel as though I feel as though there was like time. I don't know if it's you or other people, but like it just seems like he had like a very humorous side to them, and I feel as though or at least with the person, again, we haven't confirmed whether it's Dad or not. I do have a feeling it is. Um, I feel as though it's like when he's serious, but when it's like humorous, it's like big, loud laugh, humorous.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Okay. I also feel he kind of showed me hands, and a lot of people when they show me hands, it could be two things: either they worked a lot with their hands or they did a lot with their hands. Specifically, like, you know, like dads and like big strong hands, but I feel as though he did something with his hands. Or it could be the only other time hands came up is when it's like hand holding, so like this could be towards the end, at the bedside kind of a thing.
Yeah. And
um
also he was very hardworking, but he also had, I don't know if this kind of spoiled it, a stroke, which made it difficult for him to like
okay.
use.
I also have written down, just so that you know, I did have head. That's where we were going next. That I felt like it had something to do with head, like neuro. So a stroke would make sense. Um, did he, before the stroke, before everything, was he into like certain things? Like, I don't know why, but I kept seeing vehicles for some reason, like either vehicles or like motors in some
Yeah.
sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because he had me write down motors. So like this could be a wide range. Like I feel like it wasn't like specifically just cars. I feel like it could have just been motors in general. I just feel as though he was like your typical boy in that sense, to where it was just like, but I don't feel like, you know, he was like definitely like a person like constantly like stuck doing that. You know what I mean? So now that we feel like we are with Dad, let me ask some other stuff now. Do you feel like we are with Dad?
Yeah, that's definitely him.
Okay. You're like, all right, it's him. Even though I asked for this, he's here. Let's see. Okay. Is he's shown. So did he have any type of religious part of him?
Yeah,
Because
he
he's
was
showing me a
Rastaf.
cross. Yeah. Because he's
Yeah,
showing me a
he was
cross.
Rastafarian. So
Okay, yes, because he's showing me like a cross, and then for me that's just like a tie to some type of religious, some type of belief or faith. Um, I feel as though he's kind of showing me he's making me claustrophobic, and when spirits do this, it tends to tell me that they felt like trapped in their own body. I feel as though he was such an let me know if this is wrong. He kind of shows that he was such an independent, like kind of him to himself kind of person, And then like it just kind of felt like he was trapped in his own body because he just, and I know you said he had the stroke, but I feel as though like really towards the end, like it was difficult for him. I feel like,
Yeah.
people even like, even the thought of people taking care of him or like doing things for him was severely difficult. And I feel like he was very stubborn in this asset.
Yeah.
Um, I feel as though he came off very angry as well, but it was him projecting like how angry he was with his body, with his, his fate, like what was going on. Like he kind of just like, and expected, but like very like kind of sorry, like angry that it happened kind of a thing. I
Yeah. I
feels like
can definitely see that.
he was definitely younger than most. He's showing me that he wasn't like, very old.
Mm-mm.
Um, so like this was definitely something that like, you didn't see coming kind of a thing. I feel like it was a very total shock. However, I do feel as though he's kind of telling me that like he didn't really care for his health that much. He's kind of showing me that like he may have not taken care of himself. Not that it would have changed anything, but this in general, his health wasn't a big priority for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He wasn't one
Yeah.
to go to the doctor, one to get workups, like that kind of a thing. And he doesn't think that that would have changed anything, but he's just saying in general, like it's kind of like, like he didn't take care of himself and then this happened and it was just kind of like he kind of blamed himself for a little bit for that, but knew that it probably, now he's on the other side, he knows that it probably wouldn't have changed anything.
Mhm.
Was there some type of fear when it came to doctors and hospitals for him too? Because I feel as though not only did he just not want to go, but I feel like there was like some type of like, not like fear, but like he just really didn't like being in a hospital kind of environment. He didn't like the doctor environment.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sees that it's silly now. He's like, I'm a big, strong man, like, and I was afraid of like a little needle. Um. Okay. I feel as though was he? Oh. Was he also the type of person that I feel as though, although he was humorous, although he had all this, I feel as though he was still a tough shell to crack.
Yeah.
I feel as though he wasn't 100% about himself or his emotions to the people around him. I feel as though it was a big coping mechanism for him, which it seems to me that like a lot of men come across this way to me. So I feel like there's a lot of men who have passed who are coming off as this. But I feel as though for him, he was like physically taught not to show his emotions because it was a sign of weakness.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised. I kind of always assumed it was like a generational thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised. Like you're hitting it on the nail.
Um, I feel like this also made it a little difficult sometimes to kind of connect with him.
Hmm.
Where it was like very what's the word, like surface level kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
and does it seem to me, correct me if I'm wrong, like did you try to connect with him on the humorous side of things because that's kind of like where you kind of blended, if that makes sense? Like I feel as though people around him like really connected to him when things are, fun and funny, but like on a serious side it was kind of a little rough, maybe even awkward sometimes because again, you never truly felt how he felt because he just never showed his emotions. He never showed that kind of a thing.
Yeah, no. He wasn't really like the dad. Like he'll always have like everything in the house together. Like but on an emotional like level, I never really could really touch base with him.
Yeah.
You know? It was kind
And
of like awkward.
he wants you to know that like he didn't know while he was here. It was kind of like he was dumbfounded. Like if he had known that, he was portraying himself off this way to make people like kind of avoid that kind of a topic with him because of how he was, he says now that he would try to change it, but I feel as though he kind of like, because, and this is why I direct it back to like his childhood, because of the way he was raised, I feel as though he didn't know any better, to where like he didn't know that he was supposed to be different in that way. I feel as though he I don't even think he truly knew that that was like some type of issue. And it's not like that was an issue, but he just didn't really know that like people really truly felt that way. And I feel as though he really did have a lot of love. He really did.
Mm.
But I definitely feel like he wasn't paternal in that sense.
Yeah. Which I
Um
give him grace, you know, but
and again, but he was a good person. But I do feel as though he I feel like he was very to himself kind of a person.
yeah.
Kind of seems like, you know, he had his own routines, he had his own thing, and it was like unless he was asked to go do something with people or with the family, like he wouldn't automatically go and do that. Like he wouldn't wake up one day and be like, "Hey fam, let's make breakfast and go fishing," or "Let's go as a family to go do this and that." It was kind of just like a given to where it was like he did his daily thing, you guys were around, you guys were happy, healthy, safe, all was good in the world, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
um but he just, I feel as though he also expresses to where like he did have such a deep love for you though, in a sense to where he always knew where you were, always knew where you were, always knew or liked knowing what you were doing. I feel like there was a big sense of pride in him, but I feel as though he talks about how he didn't say more, he didn't say what he should have. He should have said it more often. He should have said, "I love you" more often. And I feel as though here he was kind of, oh, what is the word? He is kind of like he was kind of hard headed to where it was like you and I are like, "Yeah, dum dum, you should have like said it a lot more." But like to him, it was just like, huh? Like I didn't know. But I feel as though people have expressed it to him and he didn't take it very well though.
Yeah, no.
I feel like he saw it as like a personal attack rather than like constructive criticism. Uh-oh, the child is back. Um Sorry, buddy. You gotta go. Um that's dad's problem today. Um but it's funny because I feel as though like me seeing him now, he had so much potential to be because he was such a nice guy in general. Like but I feel like he had his moments though. I think he had moments to where he was loud, he could be scary.
Mm.
Because I feel like he wouldn't really, he was seems like the kind of person, and this, I feel like this came up in my reading too the other day, that he didn't yell much like as often, but it was more about like when he did yell, it was just like whoa.
Yeah, that was a big problem with him.
Yeah, so it's
Like
like
a
a
lot.
very explosive anger. And I feel like that was a lot built up from like his childhood, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm
Um
surprised.
so I'm getting the letter S. So I don't know if that would be significant to anyone, you and your family. I'm gonna write it down, and even if you don't know it now, you'll be able to see it when I send this to you, direct message or email, whichever one TikTok allows me to do.
Hmm.
Um, Something also about his hmm. Did he have he's kind of talking about like guilty pleasures. That could be like some type of gambling versus like drinking, like something that like he liked to do, kind of addiction sense, but not addiction. But I feel as though there's definitely something that like he probably would have been better off without, that he's talking about. Um
I could say he was. I feel like he was or had an addictive personality. Like even with like food or even smoking. I could see that.
he's also talking about now that we're on the side of like repetitiveness, did he um It's funny because he showed me shirts. So I don't know if this
Oh
pertains to like
God.
his clothing or like there's something specific with shirts.
Yes, he always wore these button-down shirts.
Okay.
Like how he dressed was very specific. He, like you said earlier, like the routine. Like he is kind of militant in a sense.
Okay. Yeah. Because he literally showed me like a shirt right in front of me, like and like flashed it. Like that was very important to him. Um, I feel as though does someone still have his belongings or shirts or
I mean, I do, and his other kids,
because
relatives.
he showed me like it's kind of spread throughout. Um, I feel as though you weren't as close to your dad as you wish you were.
Oh yeah, he died prematurely in my life.
Yeah. And I also feel as though it's kind of the sense that like when you see other dads and other like father figures, it's kind of like you wish that he was that way, or like you wish you had that daddy daughter like cute like relationship.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish he was a little bit, softer.
Softer side, yeah.
And I feel like it only kind of lasted in like my early years, and then like him dying so early kind of was like,
You didn't get a
yeah.
chance, yeah. I feel as though in general, not only was he just not good with girls in general, but I feel as though he wasn't very on the kid side. Like I feel as though he just kind of I'm sorry, I just read some comments. Um I feel as though he kind of just like didn't know like he, again wasn't very paternal in a sense. But he
It's like I don't want to interrupt you.
no, it's okay. Go say what you need to. It's just they will like throw images my way and that's why I close my eyes because it helps me see a little better. Um So I don't know if it's you or him. Someone has like a nerdy side to them as well.
I feel like I could speak for both of us.
It's like I feel like along the nerdy is like sciencey, like space or something like
Yeah, that's
that.
him. That's him. I'm
'Cause he
also
showed me like a spaceship, like so like for that it's like science for me.
yeah, I think he passed that down to me, honestly.
Okay, and I think that's why he's trying to connect with you right now because we're talking about how you didn't really have a connection. Um, but I do feel as though do you feel him around you or do you get like certain instances to where like you like it's like weird things and you're like is that like dad?
Yeah, all the time.
Cuz I feel as though like he kind of messes with you. Um, but I feel as
I
though
know.
I feel like he's talking about how like he's definitely someone who would not believe that this was even a thing. Like he would be a complete skeptic to this entirely.
Yes.
And that goes back to like the science part of him.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like he's kind of like making fun of it. He's like, "Oh, well, now I know it's real. Like I keep messing with you. Like I'm like experimenting kind of a thing." And I feel like it's not always even the same thing over and over. I feel like it's a bunch of different things and it's kind of like a what the hell moment, like
Yeah.
jump scare kind of stuff. Um, I feel as though you're also sensitive to the other side though.
Oh yeah, I am. But I feel like especially recently I embraced it though,
Yeah, you're
honestly.
definitely I could definitely tell that you were very spiritual. And you're very open to that kind of thing. I feel like you were just always such a curious child and a curious person to where like you weren't like, oh, I have to see it to believe it. Like you were very open to things and very curious, and it would just make you want to learn more about it.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of
definitely.
like how he's showing you. Like you would dabble into everything if you could. I feel like there's not like one specific thing you were into. I feel as though like you could sit there and like go into one thing one day and then the other another day, and it was just like you can just kind of dabble into a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's mostly me. I'm a Gemini, so
That goes right into it. There you go. um, and he's talking about specifically, I don't know, were you like a very imaginative child? Like when you played, when I don't know how much people know about their childhood, but I feel as though he's talking about how you were a very imaginative child when you were
Yeah.
younger, and like he knew that about you. And I feel like he did connect with you on that level when you were a child. Kind of just like he liked to watch, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah.
think it brought some youth out in him, and I feel as though he thought it was very funny. Again, he liked the humorous things in life, and I feel as though he really enjoyed that. But I feel like he did see a part of him in you as well. But I do feel as though his childhood was a little rough. I felt like he didn't really have much of a childhood in a sense to where like he had to grow up very quickly. I feel as though he didn't have a chance to really be a kid. But I feel as though that kind of also plays into you as well.
Hmm.
I feel as though you had to grow up very quickly, and it's kind of like that's why he I feel as though that's how he likes to picture you, is like when you were little and you had that like carefree child, curious George kind of aspect about you. Because I feel like sometimes you can get a little too serious, and I feel like you even notice when you're too serious sometimes and you don't even like it. But I feel like it's because you've been through so much already at at a young point in your life, to where like you had to mature very quickly. But I also feel like that's why you also have childish aspects, because you grew up so quickly, and it's just like you went from child to adult, to where like sometimes you still have those like giddy moments when it's like you want to, I don't know, like you sit there and it's like, oh, you want to play with Legos? Like I'll so play with Legos with you, kind of a thing. Um, you literally
Yeah.
could sit there and play with kids, and it's because of, you had to grow up so quickly to where like you still are a child at heart. Um, um, and feel free to interrupt me. I know I keep spitting a lot of stuff, but he just has a lot coming through. So if there's anything you need to say, just let me know.
Oh no, you're all good. Like you're really good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Listen, I don't do all the work. They do all the work. The spirits do all the work. I just am kind of the messenger here. So he's doing very well. But it's so funny because when he talks, he's not like giddy or like flashing these things at me. He's like so monotone. So he's like, yeah, so here you go. Here you go. And he like keeps going. I'm like, hey, slow down. And he's just like, here you go. And I'm like, okay, slow down. And he's just like giving it to me. He's just like, all right, get this over with. Like, here you go. Um, like I'm like as if he's busy and he's got stuff to get to. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, he probably does actually.
Like he's too busy to talk right now, and I'm like, you're the one who literally told me to talk to her. Like, what is going on here? Um, but like again, I feel as though when spirits cross over, they get like a big point of view. They get like to see the bigger picture about life in general, and like all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. And I feel as though he really talks about how if he could change one thing, it would really be like to be more present and
Hmm.
not so in his own head. I feel as though he did suffer from some sort of depression as well. I feel as though he had a lot of self doubt about himself. And I feel as though because he never expressed those things, he was like a turtle in his shell. But I think it is it different because I feel as though he did have friends in his life that he could be open to, but it was never about some serious stuff. It was always just like dumb stuff. Like that's why
Yeah, you know how unfortunately like men are. You
yeah,
know.
like he can connect with someone and they'd be talking something dumb about like sports or whatever, but like so then it seemed like he had such a great relationship with them, but when it came to like certain people like family and stuff like that, like you couldn't connect with him on that emotional type of level or that like serious type of level because and it's not that he just didn't enjoy it. I think for him he avoided all type of conflict. I think he tried to avoid like emotional stuff. Like I feel as though he would, when things got serious or emotional, it's like he would head for the hills. Like it would like put him in a fight or flight mode and he just
Yeah.
didn't like it. And again, that's not you guys, and he apologizes for that because he's just saying like he's like, it wasn't you guys, it wasn't that I didn't enjoy being around you, it's not that I didn't enjoy anything, it's just he was wired that way and he had a lot of his own mental internal battles that he wasn't dealing with and he was projecting that onto you guys.
Yeah.
And um I feel as though there was a lot of things left unsaid from his childhood. I don't know if, you still are connected with anybody from his childhood, like grandparents, aunts, anything like that. But I feel as though there's a lot of things in his childhood that, like, once you heard it, like, you would understand, like, why he was the way he was. But he says, like, this is no excuse. Like, he definitely knows that, like, you deserved a better father. Not that you needed a different person, but he definitely knows that he should have been more present with you, and it's a regret he has. Oh, there's my child again. But in all, like, he loved you very much, and you can tell that from him. You are a sense of pride for him. I feel like you were very smart as well, and he talks about your intelligence, and I feel as though, like, you were kind of like I don't know, he's kind of showing me, like, not only like were you smart, but I feel like you were like, what's the like, not even particularly book smart. I feel as though, like, you were someone that, like, could, like, have you ever heard of, like, MacGyver?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you like a MacGyver?
I guess
Like, you could whip
I
something
could
together and
say
you could fix, like, it's something like you were smart in a sense to where, like, even when you were a toddler, like, you could build something, like, you could just do something, and it might not be technically book smart, but it's like, oh, that kid's smart. They were able to do this. Like, he just talks about how, like, you are intelligent, like, you know what you're doing. um
hmm
I feel as though also he just kind of talks about how you are, like, headstrong, like, you are so clear-minded about things. Like, you're definitely a level-headed person when it comes to, like, situations, like, right from wrong kind of in a thing, and it's kind of like you see, like, you can see all sides of things, and, like, if someone had, like, a full-on problem, you could be the one to look on the outside and be like, okay, well, we need to do this would fix the problem. Stop being dumb. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're very, like, level-minded in that way.
yeah.
But I also feel like you have your own mental struggles, and I feel as though in recent years it has again, I don't like talking about, like, this kind of stuff on live, so I'm not going to say too much, but I feel as though you do have a lot of stuff going on, like, with, like, anxiety.
Yeah, like I'll be quite frank. Like even my mental health been like up and down,
Yeah.
but I feel like at least like a year or 2 years, it's actually been a little bit better.
Yeah. I feel as though before I even move on, he's kind of showing me a butterfly as well. Um, so I don't know if you're seeing butterflies or you can connect with butterflies in any way. I'm also going to circle that and add that to the page. So if you don't realize it now, you'll realize it then.
Mhm.
But as I was saying, when it comes to yourself, I feel as though you have to do a lot more self care. He's kind of talking about I don't know if you have, like, do you have, like, a lot of stressors in your life right now? Like, you feel as though you're, like, being stretched thin, or like you're, like,
Yeah,
stressed out.
I have a bad tendency like stressing a lot.
Yeah, I feel as though he's talking about in general that, like, you've got to take a step back and, like, start, pouring into yourself, like self-care, that kind of a thing. And I feel as though it's not even him. I feel like it's, like, your spirit guides as well that are just telling you, like, you need to, like, heal yourself. Like, we're in the beginning of 2026. Take this year to, like, really pour into yourself, spiritually, try and connect with yourself, love yourself. I feel as though I feel like you have a lot of mental, like, mental. I feel as though, like, you have this big thing in your head to where, like, you feel like you're not doing enough, or, like, you're getting older and you need to have this stuff done, or, like,
Yeah,
some type of time with you. Like, they're showing me a clock, and they're showing me, like, you have, like, your own thoughts to where it's like society is like trying to tell you that, like, you're getting older and you don't have this done, this done. You should have had this done by now, and it's like you have this own time clock on, like, life, and it's like you feel like you're falling behind, and they're like, get that out of your head. They're like, time isn't what matters when it comes to that. What you need to remember about time is that you should know that time is of the essence, and what you do with your time is the real priority here. It's how you spend it. And you sitting there stressing over it and stressing about, how old you are and what you haven't achieved and how you're so far from your path. Like, stop stressing yourself about that. Enjoy the life that you have and do what you want to do. Don't keep putting things off. Just do it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a bad tendency, and I'm not gonna lie, say I'm working on it. But I feel like it's very common when like you're in your 20s.
Oh,
It's
100%.
yeah, so
Oh, 100%. I still do it myself. Like, I could take this too. Like, I feel like I'm being attacked as well. But it's what they want to say, so I have to say it. Because I feel the same thing too. And I feel like everyone here, everyone, if you want to raise your hand, if you feel that way as well, I feel like a lot of us feel that way to where it's like we're always fighting against the clock. You see, especially with social media. Social
yeah.
media is like huge with like, you seeing all these like, these, influencers, and they're like, oh, we got this and we got married and we got kids and we did this and we did that, and you're like, wait, you guys have how much in your savings? Like, am I like what's going on here? Like, and I feel as though that's for everyone, but I feel like every once in a while we do need someone to tell us like, slow down, you're doing the best you can, like, enjoy it, because you're going to stress all about it, and then you're going to check off your checklist of everything that you wanted to get done, and then at the end you're going to literally be like, well, now what? I didn't enjoy myself. Now I'm old and wrinkly, and like, I did everything I was supposed to do, but like, did I enjoy it? Did I have fun with it? I made all this money, but I didn't do anything with it. I didn't take no vacations or enjoy it. Like, I just did what a checklist, what social media, what society thinks that I should have done by now. And that's what we need to stem away from. And I feel as though you got to stop stressing. And I think that you were also stressing about other people's, he's talking about other people's issues. And I feel as though you are, you try to solve other people's problems.
I guess I feel like I got much better with that, honestly. Like I'll
Everything
say
he's,
that.
well, he's saying everything. It seems like he's saying everything that you are working on, but it's definitely something for you.
Yeah.
And listen, that's all we can do is get better and, you know, work on it, and that's all we have to do. And I was green. She said, I feel like I'm attacking myself right now. I asked us. Oh yeah. No, literally, we're all being attacked, guys. And again, it's sometimes that spirits will do that. They'll talk in a reading, and then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, well, that pertains to me too. Like, dang, okay. Like, I feel like I'm getting yelled at.
It applies to everybody, you know?
Yeah, I know. So but yeah, he's also shown me the letter J as well. So I'm gonna put that down here as well for
I
you.
think you're like saying the initials of my siblings, honestly.
Okay. Okay. Is that with the S and the J and all that?
Yeah.
And I feel as though because maybe this message also pertains to them as well. And I feel as though on the other side, he's being the dad he should, and he's like sitting there telling you guys life advice. But I do hope that this resonated with you, and I do hope that you did feel like you did get to talk to dad today. Do you have any questions for me?
See, when you're on the spot, I really don't.
Listen, and I get that. I tell my clients all the time, if you, a couple days from now, have a question, feel free to message me. Like, I'm not going to sit there and turn you away and be like, okay, I'm going to charge you this for this. I'm going to charge you for one word. I'm going to charge you for three. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't like charging. I don't charge people. I really don't, guys. And again, if you guys message me, got to know me, you guys would understand that I fully do this because I enjoy it. So love bacon pancakes, exactly. So if you come up with it, especially after I send you a picture of this, and then again, you can go on my YT page and it will have the reading on there, and you can go back and be like, oh, well, I forget what she said with this, and go back, go right ahead, feel free, and message me on TikTok. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I do have an email, and it is my TikTok handle, and it's on my linked in my bio as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Bear with me in the moment when I do it, because, you know, I kind of black out during these readings, guys. So I might not remember something from a reading. Sometimes I might have to go back to the video and listen to myself, or go back to my notes and see what I said to kind of recall it. Just because it really isn't me talking. It's really spirit talking through me. So I might not remember, but bear with me. I will try to get your question answered anyway.
No, that's perfectly fine. And I'll have to say thank you, Sky, for
Of course.
reading me. It's crazy actually getting these done instead of like being the watcher, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're very accurate. Like I was just trying to be so dry, but I just had to take it all in. Like
No,
wow, like
absolutely. Thank you so much. No, I appreciate it. And anyone, if you've ever gotten a reading from me, even today, I always forget to say this to people, but I do have a feedback page. If you, it's a post pinned on my profile. Feel free to go ahead and say, some people when they're looking for me, they have to find someone that they're comfortable with, and that's I try to do on TikTok is kind of show you guys how I do. If you feel drawn to me and connect with your amazing. If you just want to message me and ask me questions, talk, and or if you're trying to go on your spiritual journey and you kind of need help with it, like I'm all here. We all start somewhere, so feel free to do that. I hope you have a great rest of your day, but I'm gonna send your dad's love and light back to you. Okay?
all right. Well, have a blessed evening. Okay.
Thanks. You too.
All
Thank you so
right.
much.
No problem.
All right, so, guys, that was beautiful, guys. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, she already left. See, you know better than me, you guys. I know nothing about this stuff. But let me see if I can answer some questions you guys have had. Go ahead and ask me any questions in the chat, guys, too. I try to read them. Again, I talk a lot. I've always talked a lot. I just have so much to say. I also have a toddler, so it's nice to talk to like adults and people. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for all the likes, the follows, the loves. Literally, it means so much. I love talking to you guys. I really do, and I love doing this. Your reactions and like your feedback about how I'm doing is literally the reward for me. It's literally the reward. How do you get a reading like that? What, like through the live, you mean? So hi guys, my mom is on here. Absolutely. If you guys are drawn, again, if you have questions or you feel drawn to my live, always message me. And Nikki's here too, guys. You guys can always email me, send me a message, your questions, your comments, feedback. If you want a private message, I do private readings. I tend to like to do them on the weekends. They're very long. They're very more intimate than being on a TikTok live, because there's some things I won't say on here just because, it's more something that is more personal. Oh, thanks, Nikki. How long have you been on here? How much is a live reading? So right now, guys, I don't know if I'm allowed to even say on here. I was told I wasn't. Send me a message or an email and I will send it to you. I'll just say, again, that's just been a starting point for me and I haven't felt the need to raise it. Just send me a message on TikTok or you guys can email me. The link is in my bio. Absolutely, yeah. I will see all of your messages when I leave here. My lives are always free, guys. I don't charge anything for lives. Lives is kind of just like something fun for me to do to kind of, keep up with the practice of it. Kind of a de-stressor for me too. So I try to do that like twice a week as much as I can. But no, they're completely free. Again, I didn't even want to start charging people. It was just because I had such a huge amount of people that wanted readings on the weekends, and it's kind of starting to take up my weekends. So I did start asking people. And actually, some of my clients were... I had a client this past weekend, and I think the weekend before as well. They actually yelled at me. They were like, why aren't you charging people? Why are you charging people only that? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't want to do it. I'm weird about that stuff. Oh, Lori, we already knew that though. We already knew that. You could tell him the sky is blue and he's not going to listen. He'll say, no, it's green. I just saw Grandma was. Grandma was, okay. Wonder their reaction, Nikki. I wonder. Text me, let me know what she thinks. So it is 8 o'clock. I am not going to be doing any more live readings tonight, guys. My husband does have to go to work. We have opposite schedules. Isn't that lovely? So I do have to let him have some time before he goes to work tonight. I'm just kind of answering your guys' questions. I'm going to try and make a video this week, kind of explaining private readings. And then I'm thinking of also doing another video on how I got into mediumship. I've already tried it once. I have recorded it. I swear it's in my drafts, but I cannot post it because in the background you hear my son asking for me to nurse him because he's a breastfed baby. And I cannot post that. So I'm going to have to do it when I'm child free or maybe in a car, and I'll just tell TikTok that I'm not driving. So I'll try and do that as quick as I can. If I don't message you guys back right away, again, I try to do as much as I can, but I will reply. I swear I do check often. Just because I know how it feels to message someone and just like the anticipation of trying to get a reply. So I do get that. But I have like 2 more minutes. So if you guys have any other questions, you have a child as well, so you get it. Yeah, I feel like we're all struggling together here. And my child is pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure he got hurt. And it took everything in me not to leave and go get him. But I have to tell myself my husband's got it. And I didn't want to disconnect from giving Kaya the reading that she deserved. Yeah, I mean, my son is 1. He'll be turning 2 in April. I myself have ADHD. I'm pretty sure my husband does too. I'm actually diagnosed with it. I'm pretty sure he is on his way to getting diagnosed with his. So I'm sure my sons will be too, because he's absolutely crazy. Can you connect with babies? I have had babies come through in readings. They're usually the most sad, sentimental ones. Actually, one of my very first readings that I can remember, again, I don't remember my readings well, but I do remember one. And it's crazy to me because they don't always come through as if they're babies. They really don't. They come through as like their child, but I've also have had one come through and they were never actually born living. The mother had a miscarriage, and I didn't pick up on that right away. They kind of talked as if they were there, as if they were here in the physical world, and they were, you know, you get the child sense. So I did get the child sense, but it was like they lived a whole life. And like you always wonder, like, well, if it was a miscarriage, they didn't really get to live life, so like how can they even come through? But they are a part of your world. They know everything about you as a parent. They know about your lives. They're in their siblings' lives. Like, they boast about their siblings all the time. And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell me how they still play with their siblings, and their siblings will actually, you know, interact with them too. So, and I find comfort in that, being that I've also had 3 losses in my life as well. Before I had my rainbow baby, Roman. But it's just, it's crazy how they are on the other side. When they're on their other side, like, I don't know, it's just, maybe it's because they are just peaceful on the other side. Oh no, it's still, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I feel like it happens to more people than people think. I just feel like it's not very talked about. Kind of wish it. Yeah, you know, I think about that too. I'm sure I know, I have intuition, and I feel like a lot of us have intuition as to what it, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda been. But yeah, you always think about them. They're always around. Oh, guys, don't cry over here. Don't. This is all supposed to be, you know, positive. Like they're still around. Like there is something after the end. You know what I mean? Are you doing free mediumship readings? So I do on live. I am done for the night. I'm kind of just vibing with some questions before I get off. But yeah, all my lives are always free. I don't charge. Yeah, guys, we got really deep and sad here. Let's pick up the energy here. Oh, that's so hard. Sorry, Eliza. Message me, Giggle, because I will assure you mine are not. I assure you. Yeah. So I am going to be getting off, guys. Again, I do have to relieve my husband before he has to go to work, and I'm sure my son has drove him nuts. So I appreciate you guys all supporting me and watching my live. It means more than you know. Follow me, message me, do whatever you need to. If you got a good reading tonight, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give some feedback on my post, just, you know, for people who were kind of, you know, wondering, you know, exactly people's response about how I do what I do. So have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye, bacon pancakes. AKA